Navi Nation? It's your boy Mo back with another performance mod video. Today we're installing the Just for Show Lightened Flywheel. The purpose of this mod is to get the RPMs up quicker, which should get us into the power band sooner and give us a better throttle response. In my video on the Rolling Wrench CDI, I said the Navi doesn't have enough juice to push it into the higher than stock RPMs. Let's see if this changes things. I'm about to do my before test lap and acceleration test so we can compare the results to after the install. Let's do it. Got back. I'm gonna throw in this Lightened Flywheel. I got Hans here, a little helper. I got all the tools that I'm gonna need over here. You might notice some extra tools and a little bit of extra stuff. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but yeah, it should be a pretty straightforward install. The only thing that I'm noticing is my HotLap exhaust. Let me see if I can show you this. My HotLap exhaust is in the way of these two screws, so I'm gonna have to try to get creative to access those. I have a couple options I'm gonna try, and if not, I might have to take the this pipe off. So that wouldn't be fun, but you know, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So let's do it. Okay, so I do think I'm gonna have to take the HotLap off in order to get this off. All right, so I got this one screw out, but that one is just not possible to get to. Way too close, so I guess the exhaust's coming off. I finally got this thing off. Had to loosen the exhaust a bit, so I'll have to retorque that to spec, but we're in there. Now that we got the cover off, these are just 10mm. Gonna go ahead and pop these off. You gotta hold this cover down while you do it. So now that we took the fan out with the 10mm, we're gonna take a 14 with an impact to get that center one out. New flywheel, things nice. Got a card, shout out. All right, so to get this flywheel off, we're gonna need this special tool. There we go. Ooh. Okay, so first you're gonna put this part threaded in to the right. Then you take the other piece of this tool and then you thread that into the right as well until it gets in there tight. Now that we got that in, we're gonna go ahead and take an impact with a 17mm. Throw that on there. There we go. And then the flywheel is off.
That's easy money.
Oh yeah. Now we're gonna pop that right back on. That was a 14. Down to the right to tighten it. And that is not going anywhere. Lock these down into place. Just get them really tight. And then that's it. That's the flywheel swap right there. Super easy aside from having to do the whole, exhaust thing. But yeah, this is just here to keep this bracket tight. I can move it. Let's go ahead and start this up and see if she runs. Oh, and don't worry, I tightened up the exhaust again off camera, so it's not loose or anything. We're good to go. We're on to day 2 of our Flywheel install and testing. I finished buttoning everything up last night, and I actually went ahead and added a little air scoop to the fan cover and painted those, and it came out really nice. So I'm really happy with that. I have the bike here with me. I'm about to go out and start doing the after test to see how this Flywheel affects it. So let's do it. It's time for the conclusion of the Lightened Flywheel video where I go over the results, compare before and after, and then tell you guys my overall thoughts on this mod. Let's just start off with the speed metrics. My new top speed on flat ground is 57 miles per hour at a RPM of 8,500. My downhill top speed is 65 miles per hour. I'm at around, I'm gonna have to check on what the RPMs were for that one. I'll show them to you guys here. Sorry for not having that one handy. Now, one thing that's interesting to note is that if I'm going downhill, let's say, and then I get to a flat ground, my Navi will actually now hold 60 miles per hour. It just can't get up to 60 miles per hour by itself on flat ground. So it'll hold 60 miles per hour, but if any kind of discrepancy or kind of any variation happens, if I let off the throttle just a bit, or if I start going a little uphill, or anything, I can't return to 60, right? So on a flat ground. So 57 is like my true top speed on flat ground. Another thing that's interesting to note is that my flat ground top speed being 57 miles per hour at 8,500 RPMs. If you saw my CDI video, I spoke about how the Navi doesn't have the juice to actually push it beyond the stock RPM limit, and this is kind of further proof, right? Even with a Lightened flywheel and 12-gram rollers, the bike just can't push itself beyond 8,700 RPMs on flat ground. So this is just kind of, further supports my conclusion from that CDI video that you should fully mod out your Navi before doing the CDI. You want to make sure that your bike can get beyond the RPM limit before you buy a mod that's going to remove that RPM limit. Enough top speed talk, let's talk about acceleration. I definitely noticed some significant improvements to acceleration, but first I need to talk about the 12-gram sliders that I installed before doing this mod. So the 12-gram sliders that I installed actually dropped me, I think, like 1.2 seconds off my 0 to 30 mile per hour time. That's the most bang for your buck that you could get for your Navi, just hands down. But so that, in addition to this, this Lightened flywheel knocked another 0.4 seconds off my 0 to 30 time, and I think 0.2 seconds off my 0 to 40 time. So improvements to both of those metrics. But I think the main takeaway from this is that those 12-gram sliders in the CVT or in the variator really, make a huge difference in terms of acceleration. And then when paired with the flywheel, you get even more of a boost. So yeah, that's a really nice benefit to these. Some common concerns with installing a lighter flywheel that people usually bring up, there's two main ones. One is that it might make climbing up hills a little bit more difficult. People worry that if it gets too light, you might lose momentum when going up hills. I actually didn't notice any negative impacts to my hill climbing ability. If I was going up a hill at 40 miles per hour before, I can now go up that same hill at 45. So I definitely noticed an increase to my hill climbing ability, which is a plus. The other major concern is that the RPMs will drop too quickly when you let off the throttle, and it will kind of make the ride a little bit more jerky and uncomfortable. Again, I haven't noticed any of that. I can let off the throttle, it's super smooth, goes down. I mean, you might be able to see it there. But yeah, I don't notice any jerkiness or uncomfortable aspect of letting off the throttle or the ride in general, really, with this flywheel. So I think both of those concerns, any worry I had was immediately erased. This flywheel performs really well in both of those conditions. I want to show you guys this chart that I made on the test lap that I did. I went back and watched it, looked at the RPMs and at the speeds that I was at, and actually charted all of it. And then I did the same thing for the after results. So I actually have a chart that will show you speed against RPM. What you see in this chart is that there's a slightly more aggressive curve now with the Lightened flywheel, right? So we're at higher RPMs at lower speeds, and then we get to our power band a bit quicker, and then we're at lower RPMs in the higher speeds, which is really nice because it gives us that little extra cushion to get a little bit more out of the top end. You'll notice around 35 miles per hour to 45 miles per hour, the chart kind of goes just straight up, right? The RPMs aren't changing much as the speed changes. I suspect that that's where the change in gearing happens. And so I know you're gonna say, but Mo, this is a CVT, it's a single gear. How could there be a change in gearing? So I'll put up a diagram here while I explain this, but... Okay, so I don't really think I explained it that well. I'm gonna take a quick second to explain it here. Here's a diagram of a CVT transmission at idle. You could see that the belt is traveling a shorter distance around the variator than it is the clutch. This is really good for torque, and this is our lower gearing. As we accelerate, the variator is gonna open, the clutch is gonna grab, and it's gonna change the ratio. And so as this happens, it gets to a point where the belt's traveling the same amount around the variator as it is the clutch. This happens for me on the Navi at that 37 mile per hour mark that we see in the graph. And the RPMs kind of stay consistent as we have a boost in speed. And that's us moving from the lower gear to the higher gear. And it's the exact opposite of the lower gear, as you would expect. The belt is traveling a shorter distance around the clutch than it is the variator, which is really good for high RPMs. And that's why we call it the higher gear. I hope that kind of makes sense. I'll link a video that explains the CVT transmission a lot better than I did, but I just wanted to clarify that. So it made sense when I was talking about it in the video. All right, let's get back to it. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the pros and cons of this mod. And I'm going to start with the cons because there aren't any that I've noticed. This mod seriously has improved the riding experience significantly on the Navi. I would say my throttle response is better everywhere, especially in the mid and high RPMs. If I want to take off and kind of get in front of a car going 30, 35, 40, 45 miles per hour, I can give the throttle a little twist and it'll do that for me. Going off of that, the bike as a whole kind of feels a lot more aggressive. It sounds a lot more aggressive. It sounds like you're really winding that little single cylinder engine up. So the sound is great. I can cruise at 55 now, whereas before it was maybe a little bit more difficult to hold that. I'd be kind of wide open. Now I could be 3/4 open and just kind of cruising at 55. I just noticed that the idle was lower. If you could see right now, it's around 1300, whereas normally it's sitting at like 1600. So I thought that was a very interesting thing to note. The bike idles lower, the clutch grabs a little bit later, but it's not too noticeable. I also haven't upgraded my clutch from the stock OEM one, and I put about 7,500 miles on the Navi, so it definitely could be that I just might need a new clutch to accommodate the mods that I've done and kind of just all the wear and tear on the old one. You made it to the end of the video. If you're still here, I really appreciate you. Thanks so much for checking it out. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate the support. But yeah, guys, that's my video on the Just for Show Lightened Flywheel on the Honda Navi. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you. The Grom got me.